talk about, please, about the play of Marcus and the spark he gave you?
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. In the first half especially, I thought that he was a big reason why we got back into the game. He was aggressive on the defensive glass. Obviously, he got a tip in. He also made some plays, made his free throws. He just was really active. And, you know, it's been different guys all year for us. But, you know, that bench unit's been pretty darn steady. And you feel like if things aren't going your way, you are going to get a lift, you know, from a, you know, just you're going to be able to get a lift emotionally from that bench.
You know, we was just playing off Isaiah and Avery. You know, they was guarding them real tight, and we seen our openings and we took advantage of it.
You took some ballet classes recently with the swim move?
Nah, I always had it. You know, just use it every now and then. Can't use it all the time.
Welcome back to the show for part 2. Let's talk more about Marcus Smart. That dude had a hell of a second quarter. That's where they really took control of this game. They were down 33-30 after the first. They came out of it 31-22 in the second to take that halftime lead. And Marcus was the huge driver for that.
He was. And right off the bat, I even think Brad Stevens mentioned it after the game tonight. He said that Marcus Smart was a huge reason that the Celtics did chip away at that big first quarter lead that the Blazers.
Chip again.
There's that chip again. They chipped away at it, the chippy Celtics. I believe the Blazers led by as many as 12 in the first quarter. By the end of it, it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then right off the bat in the second quarter, it was 1 because Marcus Smart, I think, had a nice little tip in there. He had that assist we talked about in the first video, and was it 6 rebounds in the second the second quarter? I mean,
7.6 boards.
7.6 boards. I mean, this is a guard, and he's about as physical as they come. And I can guarantee you that opposing guards, they don't want to be pushed around. They want to be able to get their shots off. They want to be able to, you know, dazzle the crowd and, you know, the Chris Pauls of the world. They don't want to get bodied up like Marcus Smart bodies people up and gets in there and gets on, you know, and gets in there for rebounds. Guards guys like Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, this is a guy that, yeah, he's listed as a guard, but he can play a lot bigger than that. And I think tonight was a good example of what we saw that.
And his physicality was great, but he did what he does best, which is steal the ball or force a steal on the top of the key and then get them out running. And they did that again tonight. Fast break points, 30-11, which is just incredible. And, of course, the pace was out of control tonight. They had 107 field goal attempts to 84 for the Trailblazers.
24 extra shots.
That's
23?
23. And the plus-minus for this game was also 23.
And the other thing is, if you look at points in the paint, 36 shots to 53 shots. So, I mean, all those getting out in the fast break.
Getting to the rim.
Exactly. They're getting to the rim. They're getting those extra shot attempts because of how quickly they are getting to the rim.
Yeah, we're seeing more composure on the offensive end for Smart. That's a good development because I think he's more settled into the 6-man role now because it took a little while until they really figured that out. Obviously, Isaiah's incredible play this year has made that a pretty easy decision. Yeah. And Avery's been so good over the past 2 months, it's been easy for them. But the second unit has been a major plus for them over the last few months. And they once again had another second unit performance tonight that blew the gates open for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a night where Evan Turner really didn't have a shot going at all. And they still managed to, you know, do well. Jonas Jerebko, I thought he made some nice, you know, energy plays. He had a couple nice energy plays in the game. But it was Smart. Smart was leading the pack off the bench. And, you know, I love watching Smart, Bradley, and Crowder on the defensive end when those guys are in there because they just frustrate the opponent so much. And even Isaiah Thomas said after the game, he loves getting in opposing players' heads. And I believe that's every guy on this team. I think they're a team that they're a smart team. I think they know how to get under the skin of opponents. They know that their defense frustrates opponents. And like you said with Marcus Smart and the steals, I mean, he's an emotional guy, and most of the time that emotion he uses, you know, that's used into a positive thing. So recently, that's what we're seeing. It's when things aren't going so well, sometimes that can hurt him. But right now, hey, they're winning games, and when you're winning games, everything's la-di-da.
That's true. Okay, well, Marcus has been a little up and down, but Jared Sullinger has been incredibly consistent lately. Every single game, he's giving you something around what he had tonight, which was 15 points and 11 rebounds in only 23 or 24 minutes.
Yeah.
He was great. The third quarter was huge. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds in that quarter. Had a huge thunder slam. He had a great block. He made so many good defensive plays, and his tuchus, his booty, is really controlling the game.
It's still big. He had in the second quarter a little spin move followed by a nice dunk, and
Yep.
I think at that moment it was kind of like MJ in Space Jam and the cartoon characters when they sip that water and they get that sense where they can do anything. That was Sully. After that dunk, he had a little mojo going on, and that carried over into the third quarter. He was putting the spins on. I mean, I don't know if Sully's ever taken a spin class before, but that might be the
He's
closest.
taking some ballet, apparently.
Yeah, maybe some ballet. But speaking of spin class, we should hit on this because Gary Washburn actually asked Sullinger about this after the game. He asked him how he's just feeling, like health-wise, and Sullinger said he's feeling great. He said everything he did over the summer is paying off right now, and he said a couple years ago at this time he might hit a wall, at this point, and start feeling that fatigue. But
Or go down for the season, like he has every single time.
or go down for the season. So right now, Sullinger says he's feeling healthy. He's feeling like he's got his wind under him, and that's good because we already discussed how much this team likes to run and get out. And I'll tell you what, if Sullinger is huffing and puffing in the back of the pack, Davey Lee might still be on this team and getting most of his minutes here, or whoever it might be.
He's starting to be at the front of the pack now. I mean, he gets out and runs.
Yeah, absolutely.
He throws great outlet passes. He's really good.
He throws excellent.
He's the
passes.
best of the bigs, at least on this team, of getting the rebound and transitioning it into a quick outlet and getting the ball moving. He does it
I
so
agree.
well. So yeah, they're looking pretty good.
They're looking good. They're
One
feeling good.
One last thing before we go. Terry Rozier got some run tonight. He played 6
boy.
minutes. It's the most minutes he's played since November.
I tell you what, he got his money's worth.
Yep. 1 for 7 from the field.
Yeah.
I asked Stevens about it. We'll see it at the end of the show here. But he said that those are the shots that when a guy actually kind of gets consistent minutes, you'd expect them to start going down. He's not worried. I don't know if he'll ever get those consistent minutes this year, but
2 steals though.
those 2 steals were nice.
I remember one specifically. It was a nice one. A little
Yeah.
help defense came over and just picked the pocket.
And what was good was he was able to pick the pocket and then immediately get around the body, flying down.
Kept
court.
going.
He did the same thing that Marcus Smart is out there doing.
They didn't score on that. Did they go to the line? I think they went to the line on that
think so,
play.
yeah.
He got fouled. I forget who he passed it to, but I think the player got fouled, and that's what you got to do.
Hey, you got 2
That's
points.
That's how you earn more minutes. Who would have thought that he'd be getting burned tonight against the Blazers team, though?
Yeah, those 4 and 5s catch up to you.
They
Even
do.
if Stevens says you don't know, you can't really draw any conclusions out of it, that 4 and 5 caught up to them. I mean, the Blazers died in the second half of this game. They scored 36 points while the Celtics scored 55. I mean, it was a shellacking.
Yep.
All right, well, that's it for us. Knicks are in town on Friday, and we will be here to break that one down again. We'll have more Porzingis. It's going to be beautiful. So thanks for joining us on the show. Like we said after last show, like us, hug us, be our friend, and we'll be your friend back. So that'll do it for Jimmy. For Jeremy behind the camera, I'm Jared Weiss. This has been the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics Blog. Shout out to Grandstand. We out of here.
Peace.
Brad, it's been a while since Terry has gotten this kind of run in a game. How did he look out there?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. Hard to really assess because the game is slowing down a little bit. It got a little sloppy, and that's part of it. I mean, when you sit for 43 minutes and then play, that's hard to do. But I thought right when he got in the game, he had an attack mentality. Like Marcus, he finds his ways to rebounds. Even when he doesn't get them, he's in the mix for them. And, he missed a couple of open shots, but those are shots that he'll knock down with consistent minutes. That's nothing to be concerned about. That's just a matter of not being fresh after sitting for 43 minutes. But he's coming along well. I think he's doing a good job. He and Jordan are, it's tough from the standpoint of not playing because you can't see, or others can't see, how much you're improving and how much work you're putting in. But the good news is we've got a lot of good players that are, and they're on a good team, and their time will come.